Hi, this is Kate from Izzalicious Designs, and today I'm going to show you how to make my little vampire pencil topper. Now, I guess if you've got little fingers, he's also a finger puppet. I do not, so I cannot even get him on my little finger, but my little girl who's 6, she can actually have, wear him on her finger as a finger puppet as well. So there he is. We're going to be making him. The colours you're going to need, and he stands up if you want him to stand up as a figure. You're going to need black and white and 1 red band. I'm using 2 of the mini pony beads for his eyes, and as I said, black and white. So let's get started. What we're going to do first of all is put our loom, and it's all done on a single loom, into an offset configuration, okay, and we're going to make his face first. So arrows pointing towards us. If you don't have arrows, it's the open part of the peg that faces towards us. We're going to be double banding, and that means you take 2 bands and you place them on the peg together as if they were one. I like to try and make sure they're not too tangled and twisted on themselves, so sometimes just running your hook along the inside of the bands unsnarls them. Alright, so we're doing his hair to start with. Oh, if I could pick up a band it would be nice. Here we go. Then I'm going to do white for his face. For this side. Push everything down. You don't want things to fall off the pegs. To that side. Now we need a crossover band here, so take a single band, stretch it out into the shape of a triangle to go across here. For the eyes, we're going to take a single band and we're going to twist it 3 times. So once, twice, 3 times, and place, let's try that again, once, twice, 3 times, and place that between these 2 pegs here. We're going to place our eyes next. Now I use a 2.75 crochet dude hook, and it fits these mini pony beads down it very nicely, but you can use a metal threader, and I have a video on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, on how to make one from a twisty tie. You can use floss, you can just pinch your band together and thread it through if that works for you, but however you choose to do it, you thread the 2 beads, or bands. If you're doing bands, that works too. You take a single band and you wrap it around your hook 4 times, do that again with another band, and slide those onto the band for the eyes. Split your band in 2, so you've got the top part here and the bottom part here, and move the top part so it goes above here, like that. Okay, we're going to put an end cap right here on the chin. Okay, take a single band, wrap it around your hook once, twice, and 3 times, and we will move that here like that. Okay, so let's loop this up, dig down past the end cap, grab those 2 top bands and loop them to the side. Do the same for the other side. Loop across and loop up and up and up. Oops. Take 2 black bands, dig your hook down the middle here, place the bands on your hook and twist your hook so that the smooth side goes against those bands, and pull to the back of this peg. the 2 bands closest to you, lift up, over and off, and pull tight into a slip knot. We're going to take his little face off the loom. Stretch it out a bit, and we're going to hide this loop of hair at the back here. So taking your hook, grab some of these bands and pull them behind the bands that are already there, so that we are discreetly hiding them behind the bands like that. You can put a hook in and just gently stretch him out into shape a bit. There we go. Alright, so that's his little face, and I use a Sharpie to do his eyes. So I'm going to get a red Sharpie and a black Sharpie. I'm just going to draw red first, and then the little dot of black in the middle, like that. I can see I got a little bit of red on one of the bands. You can actually use a Q-tip and dip it in a bit of nail varnish remover and that comes off, but don't use too much or the band will probably disintegrate. So now we're going to make his little collar. So taking 2 bands and change the configuration of your loom into a standard configuration where all 3 columns are the same height. You're going to take 2 bands and place them across the pegs together as if they were one, because we're double banding. Take a single band, stretch it into a figure 8, loop it on itself, and we'll place that across these 3 here. And then we need to put an end cap on each of these. So take a single band, wrap it once, twice and 3 times, and slide those, whoopsie, come here you, tricky. Slide that onto there, and we'll do that for these 2 pegs as well. 1, 2, 3. One, 2, 3. And now we'll loop up. So dig down past the end cap, grab the 2 bottom black bands and loop up. And loop up. And loop up. Take 2 black bands, dig down through this peg here and out to the side, place the 2 black bands onto your hook and drag it back through and to the back of the peg. The 2 that are closest to you go up, over and off, and you pull tight into a slip knot, and then we take the collar off our loom. Pull it into shape, and that is going to sit to the side with the head until we're ready for it. So next we're going to make his body. So we're going to take our loom and we're going to remove the big base plate. Take that off, we don't need it, and we're going to pop out the middle column of pegs as well. Okay, and now we're going to, if you have a look here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we need to use 6 pegs. Take a single black band, figure 8. This is our first row. Figure 8. Oops. Figure 8. Figure 8. Figure 8. And figure 8. Now if you're using your monster tail to do this, remember you're only using 6 pegs, not 8 pegs. Our second row just gets placed on, there is no twist. And our third, the same, no twist, no more twists at all. Now we're going to we're going to push them down, take our hook, and you take the bottom 2 up and over. The bottom 2 bands. So it is important that when you place your bands you're very careful about not putting them in the wrong spot. Keep them so that they're even and placed in the right order. So that's our first row that has been pushed over the top. So now we're going to do row 4. I like to just keep jot down how many rows I've actually done. I find it helpful. So I just jot down, I've done 3 and I'm now on 4. So taking another set of bands. Now for these, I'm making them go quite low down on the pencil so that they can be used as a finger puppet. So I'm going to be doing 12 rows in total. Push down. You should have 4 bands on each peg after you've looped. So this is number 5. Push everything down. Let's do number 6. Push everything down. Halfway there. 7. do 8. Push everything down. Now we're on 9, and what I want to do for 9 is put some little hands there for him. So what I'm going to do, as you can see, I've got them here. I'm going to put double band, 2 here, oopsie, 2 here. I'm going to take a single white band, wrap it around once, twice and 3 times. Use this as an end cap. Place that, whoopsie, missed a band. Get over here. Nope. And it only wants to be wrapped around twice. So wrap it once and twice. It's being finicky. The tighter you do it, the tighter it is on the actual band, so I thought that doing it that amount of times would be good, but it had a mind of its own, and that is actually something to be aware of. Different brands of bands have different stretchiness to them, so you really have to judge what your bands are doing at the time. So if I say to you something like, you stretch this out, do a figure 8, loop it on itself, and you're using a silicone band, you might not be able to do that. So just be judgmental on the type of band that you're using and only go within its limits. I don't want you breaking your bands. So if I say to do an end cap and you have to wrap it around your hook 3 times, but it really is too tight, just do it 2 times. It's completely up to you. You won't mess it up. Dig down past that end cap and pull that up. And the same here on this side. And pull that up. I'm going to take one off the loom, like that. So it's just between those two. Okay. And we're going to place one here. And the other one is going to go here. So you've got one here and one here. Okay, so that we're on number 9 now. So we're not going to count those as a row, but we are going to put bands over them. So make sure that you've got space on your peg. So that is number 9. Grab your hook. Again, take the bottom 2, has to go over that little arm that we put there. Push everything down. Let's do 10. Bottom 2 bands. Now I just mess that up a bit. There's 1. Let's find that other sneaky one. There he is. 2. 2. There's 1. You want to be careful where you've got the arms, that you're not pulling the arm ones over just yet. There's 2. There's 2. And there's 2. Now, The ones with the arms will have 6 bands on, the ones without will have 4. So now what you're going to do is take the arms and we're going to pull those over. Now there'll be 4 bands that you're pulling over like that, and then you want to twist it around so that the little white end cap is what's showing at the front, and you can fiddle and faff with this after when we take it off the loom as well, so don't fret too much. So there's 4 bands. You take over and drop like that, and just stretch it out a bit. Alright, so we're on 10. Let's do 10. No, I think we must be further than 10. It is 11. Oops. Oops! This is 11 because we did 9 before. Okay, now let's loop this up. 2 bands up and over, 2 bands up and over, 2 bands up and over. Push down. We're now on 12. And this is our last row. That one needs to be pushed down a bit more. There we go. Bottom 2 bands up and over. Okay, now we're going to put our head on. So take your head, you've got 2 black bands in your other hand. We're going to poke our hook through the end cap. Grab the 2 black bands and we're going to thread those through. It's probably actually better to do it on the side slightly, like that. Okay? So it's like this. You're going to put one side there, the other side there. So his head is in the middle. With his head in the middle, you're going to take 2 bands, loop up and over, loop up and over, loop up and over, and you will be left with 2 bands. Oops, I took too many there. I took 3. The bottom 2 bands. There we go. You'll be left with 2 bands on each of the pegs except for the ones where his head is, because we added the 2 bands for his head. So take 2 bottom bands from these 2 pegs here, up and over. So now we have 2 pegs on each. Let's take a hook. We're starting at the back here. Grab these 2 bands on each peg and move them onto your hook. Now we're going to take a single band and move those bands onto the single band. Like so. reclaim the band at the back of his head. Okay, so make sure that you're at the back of his head when you reclaim it. Take the nearest one up, over and off, and pull tight, splay it out and pop it over his head like that. Now if you need to just shape the thing a little bit, that's fine. Mess around with his arms until you get them right, how you feel is right. Okay. Okay, we need to do his collar. So all we're going to do is take one side, wrap it around his head, take the other side and wrap that around his head and position the collar upright. Needs to be a bit tighter, I think, and it's because I'm using a different style of band that. Let's try that again. Let's wrap it round twice. So put his collar there. Now with my Rainbow Loom ones, it sits nicely when I just wrap it one side once and one side the other, but as you can see, this particular brand of black bands, I needed to splay it out and wrap it twice around his neck. Okay, next we have a little red bow tie to do, and all I'm going to do for the bow tie is dig down past his neck to find the black band here that is going, it's going vertically, okay, not the horizontal band, because you'll get the bow tie going the wrong way. So grab one end with your hook, grab the other end with your finger, stretch it out, and we're tying a double knot. There's one. Let's tie the other, like so. Straighten it up a bit. Oh, and even then my bow tie has gone skew-if. There we are. Straighten it up a bit. And there is your little vampire who will sit on your pencil top. Like that. Or, as I said, he can just sit on the ground, or if you've got little fingers, he will be a finger puppet. Hope you have fun making him. Take care.